Even the best A-level math students get hypothesis testing questions wrong because they don't actually understand what the question is asking them. So let's have a look at this question. So first thing, they want us to just find the variables. So to do that, all you need to do is just to understand what our N, our P, and our X are. So in this case, we have 27 as our number of trials. We have 0.35 as our value of P. So part I, finding the probability that X is equal to 10, all you need to do is just substitute our values into our probability distribution function. All we need to do is substitute our values into the binomial probability distribution function. So plugging that in, I get probability of X is equal to 10 is equal to 0.15358 but just the three significant figures is 0.154. Now we need to find a probability that 12 is less than or equal to X and X is strictly less than 15. Now think about that logically. That is really and truly the probability of X is less than or equal to 14. Take away that the probability is less than or equal to 11. So we're looking for all values between 12 and 15. Plugging that into the cumulative distribution function for binomials, we get 0.97707 take away 0.79760 which is equal 0.179 to three significant figures. So that's part A, pretty simple. Now part B is asking us to do a hypothesis test. So the historical records show that the proportion of defective items produced by a machine is 0.12. Following a maintenance service of the machine, a random sample of 60 items is taken and 3 defective items are found. Carry out a suitable test to determine whether the proportion of defective items produced by the machine has decreased. Following a maintenance service, you should state your hypothesis clearly and use a 5% significance level. So first thing, let's think about what we have. We have a random sample of 60 items, so that's going to be our N. 0.12 is going to be our P, and 3 detective items are found, so in this case it's going to be our X that we need to find. Carry out a suitable hypothesis test. So because it's decreased, we're looking at a one-tailed test here. And 5% significant level, looking at 0.05 that we need to compare it to. So writing this out, we have our null and alternative hypothesis. So our null is going to be P is equal to 0.12. And our alternative hypothesis is going to be P is strictly less than 0.12. Now, let's let D equal to the number of defective items. In the sample. And assuming that H0 is correct, therefore D follows a binomial distribution. So B is 60 and 0.12. Now we need to find that the probability that D is less than or equal to 3. So we're testing whether the amount of defective items has decreased, so it's got to be less than or equal to 3. Plugging that straight into your calculator using a cumulative distribution function, we have 0.06013 ... which is greater than 0.05, which is our significance level. Therefore, we do not reject H0. So our conclusion is there is insufficient evidence to reject H0. Therefore, there is insufficient evidence that the proportion of defective items has decreased. So that's how you deal with hypothesis testing questions. So first state out what your alternative and your null hypotheses are, then figure out exactly what you're testing, figure out the distribution that you're using, carry out the calculation, and then make sure you're stating whether you're rejecting H0 or you're do not rejecting the H0. Remember, do not write accepting H0, write do not reject H0. And then from there, just make sure you have your conclusion airtight. Follow me for more A-level maths content like this.